Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. Come in, let me know you're here. Let's see. Just sharing this around. All right. Hello, hello, hello. So, it's Tuesday, and I know I haven't been here for a few Tuesdays. Gosh, Lee and I have been so busy. Tuesdays have been, although it's a really busy day in general, period, it has been really busy. We've been dealing with getting him new hearing aids. And then last Tuesday, we had a viewing that we had to go to for a friend. So those things can be difficult for sure. So it has taken me away, but I promised that I would come back and get back to this. And of course, we finished the Liza book. So if you're here live, thank you for being here. And if you are watching the replay, let me know. Put, hashtag replay. Let me know that you were here. This is something that, if you're new following me, that I normally do on Tuesdays, Tuesday mornings, where I just kind of talk to people about my moments in life, and you know what, how God has used me, or how He's worked in my life. And I can't say that that was always the case for sure, but it is definitely the case these days. We talk, God and I talk quite frequently throughout the day. Um, Thank goodness for a forgiving God. Thank goodness for a God who believes in second chances, and in my case, umpteen chances. I don't know how the algorithms are going to treat this today, because sometimes Facebook's like, nope, she's talking about God. We're not going to do none of this. Um, but other times it seems to get to a lot of people. Um, so let's talk. This one kind of spoke to me hugely. This spoke to me. And for there's a lot of you who know so much of my backstory in 61 years, almost 62. It is definitely a lot of backstory. Oh, hey, Tosh, good to see you, girl. Um, Excited. I actually have a date with Tasha coming up. I'm so excited about that. Can I just say that? I'm excited. I'm going to take her to a really great place that we go to eat, and very excited about getting to know such a funny, um, amazing, knowledgeable, beautiful uh, young lady who I feel like in my younger years was kind of my spirit animal. Just saying. Just saying. So I love it. Hello, Lee Bibb. How are you? Well, hi, Raj. I see you on here too. I hope everybody is having a really, really great day. So again, my backstory, and there's a lot of backstory for me. You know, there was a lot of story about Molly that happened long before Avon and long before Market America. Uh, a lot of people are following me now because of both of those things. But what's really great is I believe the things that have made the biggest impressions are it's the stuff that happened before that and all in between. And when I opened up one of my devotionals this morning, it was crazy that it was about uh, something that hits close to home for me. This is the title of this one is Known Before. And the verse that it's based on is Jeremiah 1:4. And it says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. I knew you. And people are like, well, Molly, what's so great about that verse? Because there are a lot of people who talk to themselves, but also a lot of people who have other people talk to them in ways that they shouldn't, as though they were a mistake, that they shouldn't be here. Um, I can remember, and this is where my story comes in. You know, when I was in my early 20s and I was dating my now ex husband, okay? And we had been dating a couple of years, and I got pregnant. I got pregnant. I was a waitress. Hey, Carol, good to see you, honey. Hi, Gwenda. Uh, I got pregnant, and I was not ready for it. We weren't married. To be real honest, I was getting ready to just take a break or break up with him. Um, I had gone to Ocean City for a weekend with a dear friend who is now my sister-in-law, and when I got back home, there was a message on the machine. I had just gone to the doctor for a physical or something, and he basically said the rabbit died, and and we all knew what that meant because that's what I was raised with. When the rabbit died, you knew you were pregnant, and I just, you know, if I had had false teeth, they would have fell out of my mouth. I thought, oh my goodness, and it was tough. It was tough because I was in a really bad place with my family. So didn't have a lot of family support. Really, really loved Earl, my ex-husband's, loved his parents. Um, but I just didn't know what I was going to do. Things were not great between Earl and I. He kind of was wanting to kind of go his own way with going after his career, and there was no problem with that. I just kind of didn't know where I fit in. And then I got pregnant. And it was a really, really tough time. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. And yes, I'm here to tell you, I was the person looking at all options because when you feel like you have no support, you know, I was like, what do I do? Do I keep the baby? Do I not keep the baby? How in the world I am barely supporting myself? How in the world am I going to also bring a baby into the world? And it was tough. It was tough. And you know, and I can't imagine all the girls now who are pregnant at 14, 15. I mean, there was the TV show that was out where they kind of just like glamorized that being 16 and pregnant, and look, I was one who watched it too, but I thought it is not everything that they put on there. At my early 20s, I think I was 22 when I got pregnant. I thought I was going to lose my mind, right? Um, and my son, my oldest son, Earl Jr., he kids me because I've told him this story over and over again. He's like, "So you didn't know you wanted me?" He said, like, you didn't know, and here I am as a mom trying to explain to him, and now he gets a rise out of doing it to me. And I'm like, no, I didn't know. I did not plan on that. Why do you think I had all the talks with you about do not have sex? If you are not sure you want to be a parent, don't do it. I shared that part of my life so that you would learn, right? And and he was like, "You didn't want me," and he goes, "And you were thinking about getting rid of me? Wow, mom, you didn't want me?" And you know what? He just goes on and on and on. Oh my gosh, he's so annoying sometimes. And I was like, you know what? I didn't, and I have to tell you that um, I was getting information about everything, and I remember feeling something. I was probably, wow, I was probably a little over 2 months pregnant, probably. I believe that's what they had called it. And I was getting information about everything, and felt I felt a flutter. I didn't know what it was. You know that when people go, "Oh, you have butterflies in your stomach." That's what I was feeling. I thought that's what it was, and and I thought, you know, what is that? And I realized at that moment that there was literally a life inside of me. And in that very moment, it didn't matter to me how bad my life was. Um, I remember thinking, it doesn't matter. There's got to be a reason for this. And I don't know what it is, but I thought this is mine. This is my baby. And I was still scared. It didn't take any of that away. Um, and I have never once ever said to my kids or to anyone like, you're a mistake. You shouldn't be here. I can remember for a while people were like, "Oh, Earl was the oopsie baby," and as life went on, I said, "We've got to stop that." No, he's not. God knew exactly what I needed in my life. I didn't know what I needed in my life. I believe that having that baby probably kept me from a lot of bad things in life because for the longest time, Carol, thank you. Carol says, Molly, you're looking great. I feel good, girl. Losing weight, working, squirreling here for a moment. Um, I do feel good. The supplements are just so amazing that I'm taking. My brain is so clear. I actually almost look forward to getting my walks in because there's such a sense of accomplishment right now. Um, matter of fact, I didn't even put the last update, but I'd lost like 1.3 pounds, something like that. It's nothing big, but it's coming off a little at a time. But can I say this? Let me say this. This is no magic cure. We're going to get back to the devotion. It's no magic cure. This is a lifestyle change for me. And what happened is I needed something to help me with my cravings, with my snacking, um, with my I was an emotional eater. And I mean every emotion. Can I be honest? Like I'd eat when I was happy, eat when I was sad, eat when I was mad, eat when I was it didn't matter. And sometimes there was no emotions and I just did it because it was there. And this Go Trim then that I am on, I will forever be grateful for my company developing this. Um, Dr. D is so amazing. Dr. Bob, all these doctors that we have that this stuff is transpired because of these doctors who care about people, and I just needed something to help me with feeling full, get my GLP-1 working again. I knew I never wanted to do shots or anything because putting synthetic stuff in your body may be great initially, but eventually it can lead to a lot of problems. And I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to have those problems. So I thought I'll try this, and I did. But in the meantime realized that 13 months in the making, I was already taking better supplements, putting things like magnesium into my body, and we have the most amazing shakes. So right now there's like a meal replacement. I'm actually, Tasha, if she's still on here, Tasha is one of the ones where, no, it's not every meal for me. She was doing lunch every day, but about 3 times a week because I don't have a big appetite these days. I am I am doing one of our protein shakes, and of course, putting our lion's mane, the colostrum stuff in there, and it has just been a journey that I'm grabbing stuff from every person who has advice and applying it. And I was the one that when my treadmill broke, hated it. I almost wanted to give it a burial. I'd had it for like 15 years. Love my treadmill, and I started walking outside, which is always a better walk, but just simply taking small walks, and um, still doing that, and doing that probably about 4 days a week, which Dr. D was another one who helped me with that. I would go, oh my gosh, I don't have 30 minutes today. I don't have 35 minutes. I don't have, and Dr. D said to me one time, and I say said to me, and she probably said it like on one of her calls, but she said, why are you worried about how much time you have? If you've got 10 minutes, if you've got 15 minutes, go for a walk. Go for a walk. It's good for you. Go for a walk. Just go walk for 15 minutes. I'm telling you that if you make the time to go for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, it will make a difference. you'll start feeling it in your body, and you will be like, nope, I've got to keep walking because things are feeling better. And let me tell you, most people would go, if you've never experienced this, you don't know. You don't know. So you can laugh at me, okay? Oh, good. Tasha's still here. You can laugh at me, but let me tell you about something. Now, you all know I am 6 foot tall. There's a lot of Molly right here. There's a lot of Mama Molly going on right here, right? Okay? And have always struggled with my weight. Always. I mean, as long as I can remember, I have struggled with my weight. And I just kind of accepted it. But one of the things I noticed as I was getting older was if I would sit in a chair or sit on the couch or something and feel like, Lord, I got to watch where I sit because I got to have something I can hold on to like pull myself up, from the couch, or getting on the floor and trying to play with my grandson. Those things were like almost like just deadly for me. And last week or the week before, I can't remember, Lee said something about he couldn't find something in the pantry, so I was going to get up and go locate it for him. And what I did was I was sitting on the couch and swear, I just rose up off the couch. Normally, my thighs or my legs would ache so much that to put that kind of pressure on them, I would have been grabbing the coffee table, pushing up on the coffee table, pushing up on the arm of the chair. I didn't have to do that, and I recognized it right away. Can I tell you that I almost danced all the way over to the pantry? I almost danced all the way over to where I said, I just stood up without assistance from something around me. Because you know where I saw myself? I saw myself eventually being 10 years older and thinking I'm not going to be able to get up out off of a chair or off of a couch without somebody helping me. And I did not want that. Oh, Franny, you're on here, Franny. Franny's my sister-in-law, can I tell you? I love this girl's like a sister to me. And Franny, yes, Franny's been doing her walks around the pools. Franny is checking in. We're accountability partners here. And she walks around, and I just, those things. So I need you to know, everybody thinks they have to have a big old plan. If somebody said, here's your big old plan and go do your big old plan, I would have big old failed. I am not that person trying to fit in a big old plan into my life. But if you can do what Dr. D did to me and you can give me bite-sized pieces and I can fit them into my life, then I win. And it may be slow, but it will be consistent. And if I can feel the difference, I am in it to win it. And I feel like this time I am. I am in it to win it. You know, walking, I call it Blood Hill because it hurts like I'm going to bleed. I finally went down Blood Hill. We're like, I'm normally walking now for about 35 minutes. I'm up to about 35 minutes. But we have this one hill in our neighborhood. And it's not like drastic, but it's drastic to a 61-year-old. Okay, so don't judge me. Don't judge me. And walking down the hill's great, but then I have to look up that little slanted. It's a slanted hill, but it's like a slanted hill for about 11 houses. It's a lot, y'all. It is a lot. And I'm telling you that, like, a matter of fact, when Lee is walking with me, and Lee has to kind of hold on the back so that he doesn't wander off because, he's a blind guy, right? And I always tell Lee, he'll go to ask me a question. I'm like, you cannot ask me a question when we are on this hill. You will hold your questions until we get to the top, and I am in the house sitting trying to catch my breath because my heart rate at that point is up to like 138, 139. I'm like dying. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, so the other day he went to say something to me, and like I'm waving back, hitting him in the chest, like, psh, 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 don't talk to me, don't do anything. I got a fast pace music in my ear. I'm listening to it. I'm going. I got this. We're going to keep. Let's just keep going. I'm trying to take that deep breath to get it in. But I have been able to do Blood Hill. And I know some of you would look at it. You're going to be all judgy and be like, Molly, That is not really a hill. It is my hill, people. Okay, it is my hill, and it is an accomplishment, and I am owning it. That is it. I cannot do it. Joanna is on. Joanna, get off the Reese's. Get off the pork rinds. Y'all, I'm gonna hurt y'all. I'm gonna hurt all y'all. Get off of them. I only get Reese's at Easter time. Jesus is okay with me doing a couple of Reese's. I'm gonna do it, Joanna. I ain't eating them all during the daggone year, but I am going until they start tasting bad. If they start tasting bad, I will stop. But that is a guilty pleasure there. Joanna sent me what's in this stuff. I hate it. Between Joanna and my son Earl, who has turned me into a label reader, I'm dying. I'm dying here. I'm dying. And then I find them all talking about pork rinds the other day, and I'm like, I don't eat them all the time, but I grew up on pork rinds. Leave me alone. Oh my gosh, right? So, anyways, that is a squirrel moment. So, look, thank you so much. I do feel better. I do. My weight is coming off a little at a time. I feel good. Emotionally, mentally, I am in the best place I have been in years. In years. God has me exactly where He wants me. And I don't know if it shows, but I have to tell you, I feel it. And for me, I don't even care if it shows. I feel it. I get up out of bed. I'm ready to go. I'm like, God, what's next? And by the way, sometimes it's not easy. It is not easy at all. But He gave me a body to take care of, and I neglected it for a really, really long time. And sometimes I was trying to take care of it for the wrong reasons. Now, I just want to live my best life as long as He wants me here. Tell people about Jesus. Tell people how they can feel the same way. Tell people that there is, yeah, Joanna, 100% change from the inside out, how we feel, how we respond, what we do. It is such an amazing thing to get up and say all of the things that have come full circle in the last 15 months or so have been absolutely directed by the hand of God. And then to be able to help other people do the same, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay. Okay, let's get back to the whole Jesus thing. Let's get back to this. So, my son would say, oh, so I wasn't unwanted. I was unwanted. You didn't want me, blah, blah, blah. And I would be like, I didn't know what I want. I'm very honest. Son, I didn't know what I wanted at the time. But this is what I know. For the longest time, Earl and I, it was me and Earl against the world. And anybody who followed me during that time will tell you that. Because where I was, there was my baby Earl. Earl was there with me. First couple of years, I was lucky enough not to work. And look, this is not saying anything about his daddy. Look, they have a good relationship with their daddy. They have the best relationship they can have with him, and they have their relationship with me. He just wasn't the best at being. He wasn't good at being a husband. He just had his priorities were messed up. But I will tell you, he was a great provider. So we're not going to get on the talk of the acts. There was a time I was very angry with him, but me and God have worked that out. And yes, I wouldn't say we're friends, but I will say that we have a couple of great kids, and we have a couple of great grandkids, and we have extended family because of it that I would not trade for the world. So when I'm talking about my past, it's hard. I was with this man for almost 20 years, married to him for 17. He's going to be a part of it no matter what. The great thing is I've almost been with Mr. Lee Bibb for almost 20 years, and that has been the best years of my life so far. Who can't mess with the blind guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, he definitely fills my life up for sure. So Earl has been this big blessing. It was him and I against the world. But in growing up, I have heard parents say, you know what, you were a mistake. I've heard people say, I should have aborted you. And my heart cringes. Because for one, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that because I was scared into, I know this isn't right, but God, I don't know how I'm going to do this alone. And God intervened. I don't think I was supposed to feel Earl move inside of me, but I did. And I look at what I would have missed out on. I have a beautiful granddaughter who's getting ready to turn 17. I have a grandson who is an amazing 2 year old that I am going to rock his world in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait to go see them. I have a daughter in law that I just have always loved this girl as a daughter, but now she really is my daughter, so it's great. Um, and I still have all the stuff that comes with it. Earl has taught me so much, but I hear people say, "Oh, I should have," or "I wish you weren't born," or "You were a mistake." If somebody's ever told you you were a mistake, I need you to know something. My God does not make mistakes. I need you to know that. I need you to feel that. I need you to hear my words. I don't care how bad life is. I don't care what you've been through. If you are here, you are here for a reason. My Bible says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. He knew you, and he knew what you were going to be capable of. And my relating to Earl here to say, son, it was tough. For a long time, it was tough. And then later on in life, Earl and I had tough times. Many of you have been following me for years. You remember those years of talking with me about my sons, both of them at the same time. How bad is that? Like, just stop talking to me because I wasn't the pushover and I wasn't the fixer that I was. And they just walked away from me for a while. But guess what? God had a plan in that too. Because in that moment, in those years, God made me a better mom. Even though I wasn't able to mom then, he made me a better person. And he worked on my sons. And he made them better people. And he showed them what they missed. And like the prodigal son, the story of the prodigal son, which, by the way, is like my top 3 stories in the Bible, about the fact that the son just went away, wanted his inheritance. Hey, Lisa, I see you. Love you too. Wanted his inheritance. He left his dad. His dad was heartbroken. The other son stayed behind. Whatever. The son went, sowed his oats, lost the fortune, did it all. And when the son hit rock bottom and his dad saw him walking from afar, he grabbed the robe for him and he grabbed the ring for him and he ran to him, and he didn't say, "What are you doing here? Get off my property. I wish you were never born." None of that. He said, "I'm so glad you're home." He knew that no matter what was happening during that time, his son wasn't a mistake. His son just learned different than the first son. I need you to know, many of you follow me, and your life is not easy. I feel you. Life has never been easy for me. Newsflash, it still ain't easy, Cupcake, okay? I can get on here feeling good, share what I'm doing, but this is what I know. Every time there's been a tough time, God has taught me something through it. My toughest lessons in life, the most hurtful, the most painful, the most heart-wrenching, the ones that made me the maddest, those are the times that I have learned the most. Those are the times when I have let those valleys build me into a better person. And believe me, sometimes I felt like God was going to have to whip me into shape because I was stubborn. It is a hard valley. It is a hard day. It is a hard week. It is a hard month. It is a hard year. It is, and it's not going to be hard forever. And what happens is, at times when it is easier, it makes me appreciate the times that most people would go, "Oh, Molly, that's still hard." And I'm like, it might be hard for you when you look at it, but baby, it is a mountaintop for me. I've never been somebody who has to have a lot of money. Lee and I have always gotten by because of God. Because of God. Things that we have had come into our life, things back in the day when I didn't even want to admit God was in my life with my sons, hard times in the marriage, hard times with life, not knowing how bills were going to get paid, all of it. God was there. He was there. And I didn't even recognize that the people who were coming into my path, people who had been on my path before, that they were put in just the right place. When I thought I was going to be homeless, Hallie walked in. You don't know Hallie. You may have heard me talk about Hallie, but she did. My Aunt Jan walked in. My Aunt Jan was big in my life when Earl was born. She lived in the area where I lived then, and her and my cousin Debbie. It was a good time. It was a lift me up time. It was thank God for them because I don't know what I would do. And Earl's parents, they were a godsend. I may not have been getting some of the love that I wanted from everything else, but you know what? God had a plan, and He showed me how that little boy was going to look at me and run to me. And times that I would be so angry at him because he just didn't listen. He was hard headed, right? Like so many of them. But even now, he's like, daggone. My boys are, my boys are, going into, 40 years old. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? And yet I still see him and I'm like, that's my boy. So moms, that's never going to go away. But I think even adults who are on here, you've had a bad spouse, you've had a bad um, mom or dad say things in anger, tell you they wish you had never been born. I need you to know, yes, you should have. Yes, you should have. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. His mother told him he was a mistake, a baby no one had intended, a gender discouraged, a timing unlikely. What was he to think? One day he saw the verse. He knew God had planned him from the beginning of the ages. He was perfect in God's sight, respected and loved and set apart for greatness. Had he not become the exquisite person he is today, the world would sadly be different. You are this person in many, many ways. Upon your words, your actions, and your being springs a world of possibilities only God is genius enough to imagine or ordain. You are very, very precious. Do not ever despise yourself in any way. You are good enough. And you are good enough for God, and that's all that matters. By far, that is enough. If you're having a bad day today and you're thinking you can never get anything right, do me a favor. Set that aside for a moment. And I would like you to celebrate yourself. And by the way, that can be scary to celebrate yourself. That can be scary. That takes sometimes bravery. Are you the person who can't really take a compliment? Somebody will go, "Oh, you look pretty," or "Oh my gosh, you're smart, or you're funny, or you're this, or you're that," and I'm like, And you go, oh, no, 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 no. Have you ever had somebody go, oh my gosh, your hair looks so good? Or, oh, wow, you're looking really good. And your reaction is, oh, no, no, it is not really, and blah, blah. And you're thinking of all the ways to counter the compliment that you just got. I feel you. That was me. Somebody says, oh, I like your shirt. And you're like, oh my gosh, this whole thing. Learn how to say thank you. Accept it. When somebody tells you that there is something they see in you and it's positive, accept it. Soak it in. I know it feels strange. I know it feels different to have somebody tell you you're on the right track. You are a good person, but I'm here to tell you God did not make any God doesn't make mistakes, and he did not make a mistake with you or me. But Molly, I have haters. Molly, I get things wrong. We all get things wrong. We are imperfect people, okay? God knows that. And you know what? He still sent his son down to die for us. He still came down here and suffered on that cross. He still said, I don't care how crazy Molly is. She got that crazy hairdo, and she don't take care of herself, and she puts everything before her, and I want her to take care of her, and she doesn't. But you know what? She's going to get it one day. I know she's going to get it, and I believe she's worthy for me to die for. That's what I want. And you know what? I'm still convincing myself of that. Sometimes every single day that I am worthy to come on here and to tell you about my life stories and let you know that he loves you. And if there's something that you're not happy with about yourself, do me a favor. Take your blinders off. Because if it's something you can do something about, like me, I'm not stupid. I said I wanted to feel better. I needed to do some research, and lucky for me, the research was done for me with my company, and I was the person who didn't think supplements could make a difference, but I had to do the research. I had to listen to the training. And when I found out that how I was feeling, these things could be fixed naturally, I dove in. Because it's up to me to take care of this temple, right? This temple right here. It's up to me to take care of it. But if you're somebody and you think, you know what, I don't like the way my legs look, or my feet are too big. Don't talk to me about big feet, okay? Stop it. Size 11. Don't talk to me about big feet, because I'm here for it. If you got big feet, that must mean you might be tall. And if you tall, I got news for you. If you have size 4, it would not hold your big body up, okay? I need you to know that, because that's what I had to learn, just so you know, okay? Be grateful for that. But do you know that there are people in wheelchairs who just wish they could have your big feet, and that they could walk on them and stand? And when I think about walking up Blood Hill, I think, Molly, use those legs, use those feet, and you do that, girl. You do it, because those circles you were just walking, there are people who would love to walk it and they can't because of a health issue, because of something. If you don't feel like you're pretty enough, I got to tell you something. There are people out there that they've had their looks destroyed by fires and by abuse. Better be starting to be grateful for what you got. Because in God's eyes, you are beautiful, and you have got to start seeing yourself as enough. You're not a mistake. I got news for you. There's always going to be somebody who loses more weight. There's always going to be somebody who wears makeup better. There's always going to be somebody who is more successful than you. There's always going to be somebody who cooks better than you. And when people say something about, oh, Molly, you're so blah, 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 you know what I say to myself? I don't believe the hype. Because I know plenty of people who are better in all those areas than I am. Matter of fact, I watch a lot of them on Instagram, right? And on TikTok. That's the truth. There are people who talk better than me, but you know what? God gave me a voice. And God gave me a story. And no matter who hates me getting on here telling my story, good, bad, or indifferent, God says, Molly, you are not a mistake, and you keep telling your story because your story eventually is going to lead others to Jesus. And if it leads people to Jesus, or to say, I don't understand how she can go through these things and she can find herself again. I stay in my Bible, babe. I stay in my devotionals, and I stay amongst people who think the same. And I'm here to walk with you. I am here to keep showing up. I am here to tell you about everything that's working for me and how much I love my Lord and Savior. And you can put me down for it. And no, I'm not perfect. Believe me, I've said a cuss word a few times, probably more than a few times. Okay, let's be honest. I'm not perfect. You know, the most engaging thing for me with Jesus was later on in life is that he knows I'm not perfect. And he says, Molly, if you were perfect, people are not going to be drawn to you. People want to know that Jesus loves people who aren't perfect. In my case, I don't say Jesus take the wheel. My hashtag is Jesus take the whole car, because my whole car is always rumbling. But I feel like there's a whole lot more people like me than there are those people trying to act like they're perfect. So stay on the journey with me. Stay on this path with me. And when you feel like you were a mistake, I need you to hear my voice. God doesn't make mistakes. You are blessed, and you are here for a reason. And maybe your reason is just to make my day better, because so many of you do that. You walk into my life, you walk into my DMs, you laugh at my stupid jokes, you comment on my reels. I do the stupidest stuff sometimes, and y'all keep showing up for me. So you want to know what keeps me going? God has put you in my life. That's not a mistake. We are here to walk this journey together until heaven calls us heavenly, right? Until we're called. So let's just keep doing it. Let's just keep doing it. And let's keep loving on one another. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah, one of my favorite books in the Bible. There's some massive truths in there. So when I don't understand the other stuff, I just bypass it. I go to the stuff I do understand. It's just what I do. It can be, there are parts that can be very boring. I need you to know that, and I'm here, and I've told Jesus that too, so it's okay. He knows my heart. But things like this, when it can take you to life, this verse right here, and I didn't know this verse then, but every time I think about my boy, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. I didn't know that was supposed to happen, but God knew. And because of that, a lot of people are blessed today because of my son. And I will forever be grateful that he let me feel that flutter. So if somebody's telling you you're a mistake, you just come to me. You're not a mistake. You're my person. You're my person. I love you. So love you to death. Thank you for being here with me. If you think this can help somebody, please feel free to share it. It's all good. I will have it up on my YouTube soon. Sorry I've been gone the past couple of weeks. Life happened, but hopefully we're back on track again. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'll be back soon to talk to you. Have a great day, everybody.